Hello and welcome to the 99th episode of the Gochuucast. One more until the big 100,
Close, close.
which means that I cannot talk about. I finished Nijigasaki season 1, and I'm a little bit into season 2, but I can't talk about that because that must be saved for episode 100 because it determines if the podcast ends. So
True, true. That's
I
very
can't go
important.
into the details.
How many
However,
episodes are you in? Like 4?
I'm 5 into season 2 right now.
Okay.
The only details I have shared have been that I have some general placements for the characters in season 1 for the tier list. You can drop that there. So there are 3 contenders currently. One will move to S rank after season 2, probably, and then the
other will
rest will
drop.
settle in A, unless something like terrible happens and then they go to like B or below. But I don't think there's enough time for anyone to damage themselves like that. I haven't really
How do
thought
you feel
about.
about the new 3? Because they want to be on this picture.
Yeah, they are not on this right now. It's only 5 episodes in, so like I barely know anything about most of them. I guess I think they're all, well, 2 of them are foreign, but the Chinese one, uh, Zhang, whatever, I can't remember her actual name. Starts with a Z. Anyway, she's like the only one that I've known for, I guess, like a longer period of time. What was the other one? Mika? I guess I've technically known her for a little bit.
Mia.
Mia, not Mika.
It's Lanzu and Mia are the 2.
Yeah, and then I've seen a little bit of Shoriko. I find it funny that like they just like put her in there like randomly. Like she was definitely on the student council before. Yep,
She's definitely been here. Yep.
she has totally been here, 100%.
100% was an important character on the student council the whole time.
Yeah, just kind of like put her in there. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, fine.
All right, what's your trio gonna become though? You have Shaq and Kobe.
It'll be the big 3. I feel like it's just
Yeah,
like the simplest thing.
It's
taking my
valid.
talents to South Beach.
I thought about like actually just having it being like LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, but I'm like the big 3 is gonna fit that a lot easier
Yeah.
than it.
Rolls off the tongue.
If it's anime too, as you know.
Yeah.
So like big 3 is like a synonymous term for pairs. Say 3, no matter what the community, so it just works. But yeah, there's also some other. There's one more change I'm considering. But I didn't put it. Well, not even considering. It's going to happen, but I didn't put it on this yet. It'll be in the final one when we go through that in episode 100.
I'm curious who your bottom one is. That's the interesting thing to me.
Yeah, because there's like, most of them are paired together with at least one. Then there's one in the awkward space between C and D. You'll find out.
And I know, like, generally your opinions about Honoka and Dia. So it's like, so you have to specifically not like that character for them to be there.
I know you're praying heavy that it's how you moving that one spot.
I'm just suspicious because there's only a few characters in that show that I would even call offensive in a way that would put them in that same, like, general area.
Yeah. Well,
However,
that is to be determined.
there are
week.
multiples it could be.
Yeah, you never know. And maybe they gain like a partner down there. I don't know. I haven't known the new ones long enough, but
yeah, I was gonna say maybe just really heckin' hate Kasumi.
But yeah, that is the current. This is the current way things are. I can't imagine. I will say, not to me. I don't think it's going to be beaten by anyone. That is like the one thing. However, of course, it doesn't matter. What position Naomu is in. You just want her to be. You don't want her up in the S. That's like the one thing. But yeah, she could be anywhere. You never know. She could be the one. Could be in the 3. Could be in the 4. In the 2. But that is something to determine after season 2. So, episode 100. Stay tuned for Ayumu to either ruin or bring the podcast together greater than ever before. You never know. But yeah, that is the update on the level. It's so weird, like almost being done with it. Like, fuck, how many episodes? Like, I don't think it hits. No, fuck, maybe it goes over 100. Yeah, like.
Are there like spin-off like movies
Total,
or
it
VAs and
surely
stuff?
does. Yeah.
Like,
For Niji, there's an OVA, and then there's going to be
okay,
like
yeah.
a theatrical
I'm looking at it right
trilogy
now.
somehow.
Yeah,
God knows how that's going to happen. But
yeah. Okay.
I
it's
mean,
like,
there's like 2 seasons per, and they're all like 12 episode seasons. So yeah, if you count OVAs and stuff like that, it's definitely over 100.
Mhm.
what I think might happen is in the movies. There are two things that might occur. They're either going to go into Love Live as units because they're starting to make those where I am in season 2, or they will like be one big Love Live group. But I feel like they might enter as units and compete against each other, and that might be like the trilogy or whatever. But who knows? I am curious because like so far all they've done is like, yep, we made the school idol festival or whatever, which I guess is like a game name drop. Um, but yeah, I mean it'll be interesting. Does like the OVA hint at all what it might be, or is it just like a?
No,
Does it just
I have
exist?
no idea what the theatrical trilogy is.
Thank you, Love Live. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if like maybe because there's one more group, right? Like they're on the fucking like tier listing. I just obviously can't put them in because I don't know anything about them. But like, there's that one last group. But like, what happens after they do that? You know, they adapt this one last group, or are they just out of Love Lives? Like, or
There's
is
still more
there
love left to live.
They definitely are not out of Love Lives.
are there more in the game, or like because
Yes.
like what? Oh, okay, that'll do it.
There's,
Okay.
but it's like, yeah, there are more groups in the game, but I don't know the games that well to know specifically what that means, because I'm pretty sure the games are just a mess of characters. They just like toss people in just because they can, type of shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that really means.
I guess we'll find out, or maybe we won't. I mean, no, that Love Live sells too fucking well as an anime to, which is so funny because like the anime sells really well, but like the game is dying, right? Like, School Idol Festival 2 didn't even survive like a year. The Global Fest, like they released the global version or they launched it, and they're like, okay, here's the launch date and here's the end date. You have like a few months of time to play this game, which is
So it's
so.
literally just a few months. That's it.
I don't remember if it was like a few, but like I don't remember like the exact timeline, but it was under a year for sure. Like they announced like, yep, here's when the global version's coming out, and here's when it's closing because the game is dying.
Crazy.
Which
Yep.
yeah,
And here's
is
the
it?
new. They've had like 6 different versions of the Love Live game.
Oh, did they announce
I
another
swear.
Love Live game?
They
I
do
didn't-
have another one now. I'm fairly certain.
Okay, because I'm like, there's no way like this popular of an anime in Japan is like that like dying of a breed. Like maybe they're just that dog shit at making games, but like
Oh wait, no. It's Miracle Live is still out. Understood.
okay.
And it closes on May 31st.
Oh, alright, never mind. Love Live is dying.
This is the one where they announced that it was coming out and then also said it'll be out until May.
Yeah, I thought that was the School Idol Festival too.
Yeah.
Or is that
Miracle
Mirror?
Live.
Oh, that is Mirror. Okay. So they just don't have anything else. They're done. Like,
Is the other All Stars game still out? The problem is there's a bunch of different Love Live games, right?
right.
Maybe School Idol Festival 2 is the last one that they've said so far. Either way.
That is just odd to me that, like, it can be that popular, but also that, like, dead at the same time.
It's different parts of different forms of media, right? Like it's just like.
I mean, I
people
guess, but, like,
anime,
you think, like, you know, like, the Blu-ray sales are insane for this type of stuff. So you'd think, like,
Yeah.
it would translate in some capacity. Like, for instance,
I
like,
get
Freeren's first week of Blu-ray sales did, like, 6,000, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
all things considered. But Love Live like does double or not double digits, fucking 5 digits sales for Blu-rays. So it's like
Right.
it's just an odd anomaly of like
Yeah, that's true.
failure
Yeah.
to translate your popularity into game sales.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
You don't have
true.
to try that hard. Like you just gotta make like an okay rhythm game, and people will play it. Like
Right.
To be fair, the Love Live games of all the rhythm games I've seen are the worst ones. Sif 2 wasn't too bad, but even then, they have just weird,
weird
like,
mechanics.
yeah,
It's like
and
way
ways to
worse than like
play it.
other like rhythm games. Yeah, I don't know. Just people got turned off by it. Maybe I don't
I mean,
know.
there is like a big market. Like there are a lot of rhythm games out there. Like you have to compete
Yeah, yeah,
with
of course.
Project Set Guy. I think D4DJ is a rhythm game, I'd assume, and then Bandori, shit like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is interesting though, but you know, that's just how a cookie crumbles sometimes. Maybe they'll make a banger game next, and it'll revive Love Live like never seen before, or they'll stick to making anime for it.
I almost feel like it. Yeah, I almost feel like at this point they're just content to making anime and then just occasional games and capitalizing. That's the formula. You just re-release the game, and then people
yeah,
will re-spend the money.
Yeah,
that's possible. I uh, people just don't. Yeah, I'm actually. Yeah, I guess it is kind of true that like you'd be kind of surprised if the game doesn't sell well. I don't know. Maybe it's just like different. It's just a different population of people that like. So like wait. So like other games like what's an anime game that like actually like sells well? Like I guess like Fate, right? And like other gacha
I
games.
mean,
I don't
just
know.
a lot like Uma Musume is like the
Yeah,
big one right
Oh yeah.
now.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. That's obvious. Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
FGO is eternal, but in the same
Yeah.
sense,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
They're bigger than. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. I'm not sure then.
Have they even talked about Uma Global yet?
I don't know. But like, didn't Cygames
So
like recently establish like their own overseas what's it called that they'll do? Or am I insane?
yeah, they did.
They'll probably bring Uma Musume to global, I would assume, at some point.
Well, the thing is, Uma Global's rights have already been sold like years ago.
They just never come out though.
No, that's why I'm curious.
I mean, I
But
guess
yeah,
it could be in licensing hell. I don't know.
that's kind of what it feels like, is that it's just somewhere in licensing hell, but I don't know that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have played the Uma game a little bit. It's fun. It's just like, uh, how would I describe that version? It's just like raise units and stuff like that type of game.
I mean, yeah, it's like what most gachas are, but
Yeah, but like during the races and everything, there's no gameplay. It's just raise stats till they're big enough to win, and then go win and watch the win movie
I see.
or the lose movie.
I feel like Love Live could be successful if they moved to more like you know how I mean I only played a little bit of Idly Pride when that came out because I didn't watch the anime, so I wasn't very attached to the game, nor was I attached to the gameplay. But like one of the like a more management styled thing, like because I mean like you is supposed to be the insert character, like insert self insert in like Niji for example, and
Yeah,
she's in the minute like the more managerial role. So I mean I feel like that's I don't
I
know.
would potentially agree with that.
I feel like if you were to
Mostly,
go with a Love Live game, that might be like the way.
mostly just because I feel like Love Live has also just lost like all of the real estate with rhythm games at this point.
Yeah, I
Like
mean
I don't know, their rhythm games are just so much
it's
worse
an
to me.
oversaturated market, and then they're just not good at making them, so they just fall apart. Even though they have like more clout than a lot of them probably, at least more general clout. Maybe not like clout within the gaming communities, but I don't know.
Mhm.
It is interesting. I'm sure as long as the anime prints money, they'll probably try and make a game.
Yeah. I mean,
Pretty sure Love Live
because
is still fairly like profitable and popular. I just the state of the game for some reason brings that into question to me,
Yeah, it's like
but I just also can't see it.
because like the sales for it are really good for the anime, and so it's like I just don't. I can't see it not being popular. You know.
And I can't imagine like in a game like that with like gacha elements and stuff like that. Like there have to be whales, right? Like there have to be like
There always
you know,
are.
Yeah, there's always
yeah, right.
no matter what,
So
there's always a whale.
yeah, so I don't know. I guess if you said there's not enough, then maybe it's not profitable. I don't know the economics of that, but yeah, I'm well, I guess a little bit surprised because I feel like the anime has a decent following. So who knows?
Dude, holy shit! I did not. I knew Uma Musume was big. I didn't realize how big.
Uma Musume is
It's.
gigantic.
Yeah, it is.
I was trying to look up the Niji Blu-ray
Like, there's a
sales.
reason why that one also shits out anime.
Yeah, like I was looking for the Niji Blu-ray sales, and Uma Musume Season 2 second Blu-ray disc release sold 150,000 fucking copies. It is the number one all-time sales debut for a single disc, which is that's fucking insane. I knew it was big. I didn't realize it was that big. That's insane.
Yeah, it is like it actually still kind of surprised me that like because I feel like yeah, I mean there's some other games like FG obviously that, like you mentioned is the tournament, but like Musume, it's just like it's crazy.
Yeah, looking at some of like the top weekly Blu-ray sales. This is back in October of 2022. Love Live had two of the top three. Number one was Licorice Recoil with 22,000 for what's it called? It sold. But then next was Love Live Niji Season 2 at 11,000, and then Superstar Season 2 at 9,000. So like, I mean, they're in the top of the Blu-ray sales still from just a couple of years ago. It's just really interesting that the games would fall off like that, but yeah, it's probably. I mean, it's got to be dog shit fucking rhythm game to have the clout and not be able to capitalize. But yeah, anyway, enough Love Live. We'll get plenty of that next week.
Yeah, that's the big decider.
Yeah, I completed. This is something I only had to watch 3 episodes when we did our our end of season thing, but I binged the rest of Metallic Rouge, and oh my god, I hated it so much more than I thought I
saw
would.
that on your Twitter, yeah.
That anime is so dog shit, dude. I am like so disappointed because it was one of the ones that I'm like I am interested in the aesthetic of this at least, and then after the first episode, I'm like, okay, interesting, but I need more. But then as I got more, it just got worse. And so I'm like, oh no. And so I binged from 4 to 9, and then from 10 to 13, I group watched it with AJ because I couldn't do the rest on my own. And so we caught up at the same spot and then watched the rest of it. And it was funny to make fun of. That is like the only joy I got out of that anime was making fun of it towards the end. It was just really, really horribly written. It's really inconsistent with its characters. Like, no clue what it wanted to do with its own plot. I didn't learn, like, what the goal of the plot was until, like, episode 5. And then by that point, I'm like, okay. You know, I don't think it was, like, just a basic, simple, like, revenge type story. And even then, like, there's more twists to it, but all the twists aren't, like, set up or anything, really. It's just all really dumb and it just wasn't good. The only thing I can take away from Metallic Rouge as a good thing is that Rouge herself was cute. It was a good character design. That was it. But yeah, very, very disappointing. Oh my god, the ending was so bad too. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Why? Is it just
I blocked it out of my mind. So so you get to the end, and then like you're like, okay, it's over, and then there's like a big twist, and then that twist immediately reverses itself. It's like, oh, we saw this twist coming. Ha. Don't worry, it's all good. And then like it ends with like what was about to be like the start of a fight. I guess it just ends. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like it doesn't earn anything that it does. It just does things and hopes that you like monkey clap at it, but you know, I don't. It's just man, I would love to see anyone who has like a good opinion on this, like what goes through their head. I cannot imagine. Like it has a 60% on fucking any list. Like I would have thought it'd been lower, to be honest. Okay. The second review is fun if you don't think too hard about it, which is a classic. And they gave it a 7 out of 10. Rouge is a show that deserves a lot more love for all the things it does right, ranging from its great aesthetic sense. It does not have a good aesthetic sense. To its ability to weave together a mystery plot with compelling character dramas. It's not a good mystery, and their character dramas are dog shit. So, yeah, it's just, yeah, it's just bad. And they do mention how bad the editing was. Like, well, editing's probably not the right word. I feel a lot of the times whenever they start a conflict that they aren't really sure how to end, they'll just like cut away and then it'll like be over, and you just have to like accept that everything's chill. Which I ranted about that before when I watched the first 3 episodes, but
Right.
Yeah. It was just not good.
Did you like the animation at all? Because I've only seen the trailer and stuff, but it looked kind of cool. But like, I don't know.
It's like pretty well made, and then anytime they do use CGI, it's like pretty good. But
okay, yeah,
it's just it doesn't do enough that like to like save anything. It's just it's not just like an inoffensive plot. It's like a really bad one with bad characters and like animation that is like generally good sometimes, and then other times it's like just fine. It just it just doesn't do enough to make you care about any single part of it.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Good to know, because I was gonna watch it, but I've only heard
like the premise sounds kind of interesting.
Mediocre to negative stuff. Yeah.
It's not worth your time.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like, I think the description sounds like a more interesting anime than what the anime actually is.
Many such cases.
Because, like, that information that they give, like, isn't even, like, particularly accurate. Like, you don't really, I mean, kind of is, but, like, you don't learn anything until later, and by that point, the anime has already, like, killed you to death with the amount of mid that goes on. But yeah, anyway. That is from last season, though. I have started some of my seasonals from this season, though. Well, actually, before that, I guess, speaking of seasonals that are coming out, Crunchyroll had a little bit of an oopsie. So, there was a con, I think it was in Puerto Rico, that they were having a convention, and I guess one of the staff members there decided to do a little troll and leaked a lot of episodes for different seasonals. So they leaked 2 episodes of Hibike Season 3. They leaked 2 episodes of Konosuba. They leaked 1 episode of Unnamed Memory. And I'm sure there were more that I don't know about. But those are like the 3 that I know for sure got leaked.
I saw this. Yeah. I saw the headline, but yeah, that's wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So this was an actual Crunchyroll convention itself.
Well,
right?
I don't know. It was a Crunchyroll convention. Right? It was just they were at the convention.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I got the pick of everything. So, yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Like, I have my opinions on piracy, obviously, but I don't like leaking things early. Like, that's just I think that's more disrespectful to the staff that make these anime than anything else. Because when you're not talking about like on the day of, it's almost like when Netflix drops everything at once. If you think about it, like, you know, you're talking about these things before they intended, and then obviously like the staff are on social media, like they're gonna see that type of stuff, so they're gonna see like the episode leaks, and they're like, "Fuck, dude." You know, it's just I don't know, leaking shit's scummy as fuck. I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because that just goes beyond, like, you know, you're a fan of whatever and you want to watch it. Or if, like, that's even, like, you know, I think we talked about this with the Jujutsu Kaisen leaks because of the leakers that got caught or whatever, but yeah, it's just, I think they're two different sides of the same coin.
Yeah. I feel like whenever these leaks also happen, people, like, I've seen this already, like on some of the, I mean, I know it's my anime list and analyst forums and stuff like that, but it's like, oh, was the leak on purpose? Was it just used there to generate publicity? And it's like, like, I don't know, bro. Like, of course that has
No,
happened
there's, like,
before, but like,
certain
it's just,
things that I get, like, you're not gonna leak a whole episode.
yeah,
Like, that is not, and obviously, like, there are so many different people who have their hands in, like for games, for example, like, you might, like, leak certain aspects of, like, the game, maybe, like,
right.
data mining could happen.
Yeah.
And that type of stuff, you know, sometimes gets released on purpose. But, like, with stuff like this, like, you know, Crunchyroll has the licensing to this, but they are not, it's not like they can just do whatever they want with it, right? You know, they have to release it on the day of, after it's aired in Japan, and then it's just, you can't just you'd be like, yeah, let's get some publicity for this show and just fucking leak the episode online and cost
Yeah,
us and everyone else money. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like in specific to this scenario, it doesn't make sense. It's just like I feel like that's okay, number one, I'm sure it's happened like in other things, like not necessarily anime, but
Yeah,
like
and
games
other
or
things
whatever.
like leaking details like makes
Yeah,
sense,
like that,
but
that kind
like
of stuff, like,
leaking
I
the
can see that being
entire
like cool
product
marketing strategy and
itself.
stuff. Yeah, yeah. But like because those things happen, people just like love to speculate that, oh, anytime a leak happens, it's because they like did it intentionally to like generate publicity. It's like, okay, of course it's a possibility, but like let's think a little bit. Like
Yeah, people
it
are
doesn't mean it's
just
true.
really scummy. That's why leaks
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. They assume the worst, so yeah.
Yeah, it's dumb. But anyway, the things that I didn't watch any of the leak stuff, so the things that I did watch though, um, I guess we'll start off. So this is I don't, I wonder what the actual, like, translation for this is, because in Japanese it's like one room, you know, and then all the Japanese stuff.
Yeah.
But in English they put it as like studio apartment, good lighting, angel included. So, like, I'm wondering what the actual title for this is.
Yeah, that is
Like,
not a real name, but yeah.
yeah, like, obviously it might be like localizing a certain, like, aspect of. Okay. Oh, okay. I try. Oh, I put it into Google Translate. It's like okay. It makes it like, so one room, I guess, is probably like the Japanese way of saying like a studio apartment, basically.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And so the rest of it makes sense along with it.
Okay. That does make sense. Kind of, but yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a little. Okay, so the Google Translate is not good. But one room, and then it's a cost per normal, which obviously does not make any sense.
Yeah, it's making no sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's like, it's supposed to say like a general cost. I don't know. But I mean, okay. I take back what I said about the translation. It makes a lot more sense than I initially.
Yeah, I
What's
guess
it
that
called?
makes sense.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, this is like exactly what I expected. It's just like super generic romance, but this time there's an angel involved.
Of course.
The main, oh my god, hold on, let me get a picture of this motherfucker's head, dude. The main character is so ugly. It's insane.
But
They don't do him any, like, he's already so, like, super generic, but they don't do him any favors. Hold on. I got a good picture of his head somewhere. I gotta get it off Twitter. It's so fucking ugly though.
well, I'm looking at it now, but I'm looking at the I don't know, the concept art or whatever, probably something from the
There, I put it in the, oh, fucking damn it, I have to, what's it
this
called?
is your tweet.
Okay, let me see this. Yeah, he's got some weird really,
Like,
I think
his eyes are so
like really far
big, they're
apart.
like they're about to pop off his head, dude. Like,
Yeah, something's just wrong.
his hair is so ugly. Like, the color of it, the cut, dude. He's got like it's not like a bowl cut or a bob cutter. I don't know what to describe it as. It's just fucking
No,
ugly.
no, yeah, I know what you're saying. It's like he tried to part it in the middle, but then there's like a big tuft of hair in the center, and it's just like it's like falling on his face.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's ugly.
stereotypical anime hair if like I drew it or something like that.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
tried to
yeah. It's
draw
like a
like a
parody
generic
of it.
anime
Yeah,
character off of Rip or whatever. But yeah, I mean like it'll be a watch. Like I can see this is gonna be like a 5-6 out of 10 at best.
reeks of mid.
It oozes mid. Like this is what this is what
Smells like- this
mid
is
was
what
meant
mid
to
is
be.
all about.
This is what mid is all about. It is so, dude. That is like the first shot of him, basically. Like my introduction to him was just him being ugly as shit. I'm like, oh my god, there's no way they did him dirty like that. It's episode 1. Come on. But yeah, the Angel Girl's cute, and then I'm sure the others will be as well.
What show is this I zoned out earlier?
The one room angel thing.
Ah, yes.
But yeah,
I hate that it's one room because then I hear it.
yeah, that's why I had to watch it. Yeah, because it's one room. I mean, it's got some one room tendencies. It was a little horny towards the start. I can't lie. And then got over that. I don't know how prevalent that's going to be throughout, but we'll see. Yeah, it's just I mean, you could replace the main character. I mean, it's fucking self-insert main character classic, but you know, you could replace him with Plank from Ed, Edd n Eddy, and nothing would change. You know, it'd probably be a more interesting show actually
Plank's the goat, bro.
if he was replaced by Plank. It'd be more interesting.
Yeah.
I love that way of fucking rating main characters. Can I replace it with Plank from Ed, Edd n Eddy and
That's
still
actually
achieve-
great. Like that's like
That
the
is a
barometer. Like, you know.
Dude, it's a bro. Can I replace him with Plank and like will it be a better show if he was there?
Sounds like a future tier list. Should take a
Ooh.
bunch of popular
Plank
main
bar.
characters.
Just take main
that's the-
characters.
and-
like, could I
Yeah.
replace them with Plank from Ed, Edd n
How
I'd
Eddy?
put above or
replaceable
below.
with Plank are they?
What's that? The thing about like women in movies, women character in movies, like the
Oh,
three.
yeah, I
questions
know
you
what you're
have.
talking about. I
You
don't
know what
remember
you're
what's
talking
I don't
about?
remember
Yeah,
what the
yeah, that's what I was
rule is
thinking.
called. It's like your movie is like
I'll find it.
sexist if you have you need to have at least two
Bechdel
women
test.
talking
Yeah,
to each
there you
other, and then the Bechdel test.
The what?
The Bechdel test. So in like a movie or fiction or something,
Test to measure
if
representation of women. Okay.
yeah, if you have your work is like sexist if you don't have two female characters who have a conversation about something that other than a man. So they need to have
I
like
like the second part. It says the requirement that the two female characters have names is added.
It's not, you know, generic,
somehow I feel like them being named was definitely important.
yeah, it's I understand it. I don't think it applies to every single thing.
Yeah, it cannot be a hard and fast rule.
Yeah, I mean, I
It
get the
basically sounds
idea
like
though.
a level 1 test, right? Do you have two important female characters? All right, you passed the first game. There are many more tests till we determine your work is not sexist, but the first one, having two named characters that have ever existed. Check.
Yeah, I mean,
For what
it's
it's worth, this podcast does not pass.
this podcast has
Bechdel
not
test.
never it has never
Unfortunately.
passed the Bechdel test.
So
I mean,
maybe
we never
take this more serious.
will actually. We only bring on one guest at a
You can have
time.
a couple guests, you know.
Yeah, unless one of us makes like a very unexpected identity change, then this is not happening.
Yeah.
Could happen. Who knows?
Someone's got to take one for the team. Change everything about yourself, so we can have pass the Bechdel test.
Nah, we can get some female guests or something like that. Maybe. But,
We'll
yeah.
get there.
get
I
there.
guess that's technically my fault. I need to invite female
No,
guests.
don't blame yourself. I was just thinking
I
about
know.
it.
I mean,
I'm
come
not being
on.
serious.
This is
But
the anime community.
This is the
There's
anime-
some, but
they're out
what's
there.
the ratio? It's surely not that great.
I've
It's
seen
not even just
some.
like
Probably
the.
better. Probably better than I would think. Now that
I think it's
about
better
it.
than what you're thinking, but at the same time, it's a matter of how many can I get on here. Like, who's worthwhile bringing on? I don't know. I'll put
What would make them not worthwhile bringing on?
not being
Curious.
like a content creator.
Hmm.
Being a
Curious.
woman. Yeah, that's why they can't bring them on.
Yep, that was the bait.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah, one room, mid. Anyway, next, this one was probably the most interesting one I've watched so far. So, Train to the End of the World. This is like a buzzer beater addition to my list here. Because I didn't think we talked. PK says we talked about it. I didn't go back to check. But Train to the End of the World, I didn't remember talking about it.
I swear, I looked at it and was like, "This looks like a spat anime," and then he's like, "No," and then I said, "It reminds me of the
Oh
Lone
yeah,
art."
I
Just
probably
like the
tuned out.
framing of it.
it just I don't know.
So
the cute girls doing cute things thing is like I don't know. You watch it, so you tell me what you thought.
It's episode 1.
So you know when Licorice Recoil came out, I'm like, I watched the first episode and had to do a double take.
Yeah.
I sat in disbelief watching the first few minutes. I had no idea what was happening. Well, I knew what was happening, but
added to the shopping cart. Understood.
it's like I drank a fucking gallon of battery acid, and like the consequences were this show.
The analogy, yeah, I got you.
It's like I have no idea where this is gonna go. It could be absolutely dog shit for all I know, but it is a very interesting first episode. The first 2 minutes alone, like if you don't watch anything else, watch until the opening plays for the first episode, and you.
No, I have to check it out now that you've like talked about battery acid. Like, okay, yeah.
Like,
right.
Don't. Yeah, it's just. Yeah, I don't know. Don't learn anything about it. Just watch it blind and just let whatever happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ending's really good. I really like the ending. It's a banger, but it's yeah, I can't say much about it. It looks pretty decent. I've heard like some rumors that the production quality might not be great, but or not production quality, production like the state of production might fall apart at some point.
Episodes, right?
Yeah. But I don't know how true that is. So I'm not gonna. Oh, the first the first thing on the annual list threads is concerns about Train to the End of the World.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, okay. So although initial impressions have been positive, it was the director who threw the bucket of cold water on Twitter, revealing that they haven't even finished the 4th episode. Granted, that's like
That's crazy.
I mean, like a lot of people are like, I hope this doesn't turn into like a Wonder Egg priority situation.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see, because like sometimes in anime, like, you know, it'll be like a few hours before the fucking airtime, and they'll be like, all right, boom, you know, episode's done. But apparently, like the way he was talking about it made it seem like they were like really behind. I don't know. We're gonna find out, I guess.
Yeah. We'll
I
see.
have no clue. But yeah, hopefully it ends up fine. It's like at least interesting for now. So, but yeah. Next up, so I wanted to binge the original, but I've been more caught up with Love Live than anything right now. So
Spice and Wolf.
Yeah, Spice and Wolf.
Dude, I had a friend who told me to watch it again. So
yeah, the first episode, it was pretty good. I think it's one of those things.
Have you watched the first episode of the old one yet?
I haven't watched any of the old one yet.
Okay.
I watched the first
I knew
episode.
You wanted to. I just didn't know if you had.
Yeah, no. Love Live is the current thing. Plus all my seasons.
I've heard they added some stuff to this to kind of just like almost foreshadow later things.
So they added a scene at the start of the first episode from. So there's a sequel series called Wolf and Parchment, and that scene is like from Wolf and Parchment, I think, or at least like it hints to Wolf and Parchment existing, I guess. And so some people are like, okay, maybe they're gonna like take it all the way, which is my like I would assume like they're not remaking it just to like go through all the content again and then be done. But we'll see. I mean, it's possible.
Well, also the original didn't cover all the content.
Yeah, like probably the original was like not a great adaptation, and so maybe this one will be better. But I would say, at least from what I've seen of the old and this new one, they both have like pros and cons to them for sure. Um, so the character designs are, I'm like 50-50 on it. Like, I think I enjoy the aesthetic of the character designs more from the old, but I think people are saying that like the movements of some of the like, I guess specifically Hollow, like they're doing more with like her tail and her ears to like show emotion, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, I haven't watched any of the originals, so like I can't be the one really making these comparisons. But
Yeah, I only watched the first couple episodes. I don't remember it being like so bad that it was like, oh, like, you know, unwatchable or anything like that. But yeah, I can see like some room for improvement for sure. So that makes sense.
yeah, I just really don't like. I like if I had one, like the modern like anime look that it has is like,
Mhm.
I really don't like the hair gradient, like how it just like,
Oh yeah.
I really don't like that. It feels off with like that. And then the faces, the faces might be fine if like the hair was different, but I prefer more of the aesthetic of the old. The lighting than this apparently is like a big thing people are talking about. Like, this has like a lot better like usage of lighting than the original did,
Mm,
and maybe like some more interesting like cinematography. But
right.
once again, obviously I can't speak to all that. But it'll be interesting to see continue, and I'll go through the old one at some point. I'll probably like, binge through that soon enough and
Yeah.
pass up the old or the new version.
Yeah, the
Um,
hair gradient thing that you now that you mentioned, like about like comparing modern to like old anime, like I feel like that's such a like now that I think about it, like of all the like recent shows I've seen comparing it to the old ones, like that's like a really obvious like kind of tell. I mean, obviously it's not in every show, but like
yeah,
it's
I'm just not really big on like I mean you can do it well, but I feel like I'm
Mhm.
more uh it just looks better. I feel like
Yeah, there's a
solid.
blind character it looks weird on. I don't know why, but yeah, just looks kind of funny. But
Yeah, because the OP had released like a few days before like the anime did, and so I watched that. And I wasn't too impressed with like the background art, but like watching the anime, it feels a bit better. I think.
mm,
Um, the at least in the opening for the original, I did watch that at least. I think I prefer the old one, but the new one could be fine. It'll be some. I'll have to watch the original before I have. I need to like stop giving opinions.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll find out, I guess, at some point. Um, but yeah, Spice and Wolf, I like their premiere. We will see how things continue. Just yesterday, I watched Bartender. So this is
Mm.
a remake of the
Yes.
original. So another remake.
I need to watch that.
Is the original a show or a movie? I don't know.
It's a
I think
show.
there is a movie,
It's
but
11 episodes. No, it doesn't look like there's a movie. There's manga and then the TV.
gotcha.
It didn't seem particularly well received back then, though. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, uh, it was an interesting first episode. Well, I guess I wasn't that interested. I'm interested to see where it goes from here. But for right now, it's like in a very like setup phase. I'll say the animation for like the hands is pretty good. Like they go ham on their drink pouring animation.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it is something I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to let cook. We'll see how it
yeah.
goes.
Oh, I love like the so I remember even in the manga they like tried to do a lot with like the hand movements and stuff like that. Like when you watch really good bartenders, I'm talking about in real life, like it looks so sick. Like actually, it looks really cool. Like there's some videos of like the bartenders at like the most like famous bars, in Japan, New York, everything. It looks cool. So I'll probably try to watch the first episode sometime this week, and yeah, I'm excited too. But I love cocktails. I'm biased. I'm very
Yeah,
biased
I'm not
towards
much
this.
of not much of a drinker, so it's gonna have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
impress me more than
yeah. No, no, no. Yeah,
pours drink like, oh my god, I like that drink, that type of thing. Anyway,
gotcha.
and then I guess I think this is the final one, unless I'm somehow missing something. But Condition Called Love. I have read a little bit of the manga for this, and I don't remember anything about it. So this is basically a new watch. It's so everything, you know how you felt like Itsuomi from Sign of Affection was a big red flag?
Yes.
Well, now I feel that about this guy. And this one is like much more obvious that like he's not like so
What's
in
his
the
name?
his name is Saki Hananoi.
Okay.
So in this
Right.
so what happens at the start is he
Yeah,
gets dumped, and then she like she's like sitting out in the snow, and she stands over him with an umbrella, and then he like falls for her or whatever, and then asks her out the next day. But the way he like acts toward like he is like trying to do it, he's like a people pleaser, I guess, is the
Okay.
his like shtick as a character is that and the thing that the main girl doesn't like is that he's like, oh, what kind of hair do you like or whatever, you know, like longer or shorter. And she thought that, you know, he was talking about her hair, and she's like, oh, you know, I like it shorter. And then he goes and gets his hair cut, and then he takes out, like, he has like piercings in his ears, and he takes those out because he feels like she may not like flashy things. And so
Right.
he basically, he's trying to like mold himself to be like for her.
Ooh,
You know,
that's sus. That's sus. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I feel that.
yeah.
It's too like, I don't want to say try hard, but like, yeah, I don't know. It's like desperate.
Yeah. He is the definition. He is why the the word red flag exists, basically.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't have too many, I mean, it's like cute, I guess. I don't really have too many opinions on it right now. I doubt I will either. Like this feels like it's gonna be something that's like a tier above like One Room, you know. Like,
Okay. Tier above mid.
mid, slightly above mid shoujo edition. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's shoujo. Okay. But yeah, that is all my seasonal watching thus far. New episode of the first season of, I forgot, dude. The third season of the Slimy Sky started today, so I'll watch that at some point, but I haven't done that yet. But that has been the experience thus far.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, though, my most anticipated airs with Jelly, so that'll be fun.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm really hoping that one turns out well. Apparently, all 12 episodes have been completed already, so it's not going to have any production issues. That's cool.
Wait, is this the? Oh yeah. Okay. It's like the jellyfish one or whatever.
Jellyfish can't swim in the night. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This one looks cool actually.
Jelly Peak.
I still remember the freaking like whatever the art, like the with like that one person just in the air like flying. Like, hold on, let me post it. Okay, this is like a really small image. What the hell? Like the one person just like.
I'll take the small image over nothing. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, I gotta find the.
I'm trying to understand also.
No, the guy at the top, like little
I remember what you're talking about.
Like,
yeah, in the what's it called?
Okay.
They're like right above.
A picture of this. What the fuck?
Yeah, the little person that's right above.
Yeah.
I think what that is. I think that's their VTuber avatar.
Okay.
After watching the trailer, like they were coming up with like a character design, and so I think that's what that is. I think I figured out the secret of the little goober that in the top of the fucking key visual.
Yeah, goober. That's a good word.
Yeah, now that like you pointed it out, I remember.
Yeah, I didn't know how to describe it.
Yeah,
it's like almost.
You just said like the flying guy. I'm like, what?
He's flying. He, she, but I don't know what it is.
It's flying, yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's the thing I remember from the show. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This one looks cool though. I do like it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd watched the trailer for it last time, but I'm really excited for this one. Like, I trust the author. I love the aesthetic to it. Like, I'm gonna be so sad if it sucks. I'm gonna be really sad. And this will be my villain arc.
Oh my gosh.
Not really. It
One
won't be.
of
It won't be that
one
much
of
of a deal.
many.
But there's just a lot of talent surrounding this. Like, it looks
Yeah.
great. The voice act, like, there's 3 top tier voice actresses. And I'm sure the 4th one's fine. I haven't really seen her in much. Doesn't look like she has that many main roles.
I need to watch the first episode of Girls Band Cry.
I
wait.
I hate
Yeah, okay, I need to
to
watch
break
that.
this to you. No one picked it up, so you're gonna have to wait for fan subs.
Oh, right, yeah, you mentioned
Hope Hell.
that's fine.
Understood.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure
Cool.
someone will fan sub it, but you're gonna have to wait for that, unfortunately.
Understood. Cope
That
Hell.
actually kind of sucks. I'm excited for that too. Like,
Yeah, there are a
I
lot of
got the
people who are
animation.
like really upset about it on Twitter today.
Yeah.
They're like, "Fuck, dude! Like, you gotta be kidding me!" Because like apparently, fuck, it was like I don't know if it was the director. Someone basically was hyping this up, like, "Yeah, overseas fans, you all should be watching this shit." But no, we can't. Like, it's not possible.
It's so yeah, right. It's so weird to me
I think it's like someone at It might have been like the
that nobody
Toei
picked it
president.
up.
Like
Like
they
in
have
our time, that's like virtually unseen of a show.
yeah,
That's
like sometimes
reached,
like it might like
the
be
Western
in
audience's ears and not been picked up.
because like with summertime render, like they had like Disney had it, they just released it in a dog shit way that like killed the hype for it.
Yes.
But this like just straight up did not get picked up, even though like they have like Toei repping it. Even on like they dropped like the OP and like some insert songs on YouTube, and I watched the opening, and they have English subtitles like available. Like they clearly want people to watch this, but like it's just not picked up by anyone. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It just feels like something that should be there. I guess another thing I had seen on Twitter, the first episode of Windbreaker, I think like you and me and PK had this on like the maybe.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
But I saw a clip of the first episode. And it went kind of crazy, I can't lie. Like, I don't know if it's going to be like a consistent thing, but there's a very...
Windbreaker?
Yeah, Windbreaker.
I might find it.
Oh, it's the guy with the hair.
Oh,
the
this
freaking-
one. The
the
degenerate
guy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but like, it was like trending on Twitter as well. Like,
Uh-huh.
it was... I didn't expect it to be like... I don't know. Like, this might be like Tokyo Revengers if it didn't suck, maybe. I don't know.
Interesting comparison, but yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, like the fight choreography is I can post like a minute-long clip, I guess, of like some of the fighting there, but let me fucking put a what's it called on it so it can just be in Discord.
Okay.
But like from what I'm seeing here, I mean, it goes pretty. Like, this is just a part of it as well.
Oh, dude,
like,
I love the camera. Yeah.
like the fight continues like through this. It goes pretty hard.
Yeah.
Whether
This does look quite nice.
yeah, I might watch it. I don't know if I'll care for it in the end, but I might get baited into it because good animation.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the way like it goes from like 15 seconds, it reminds me of like some like this side scroll.
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I went back on the video and it started playing audio.
Yeah.
God dang it. Sorry, viewers. They heard like a distorted Windbreaker sound clip.
Gosh. No, yeah, the camera work looks like actually sick. But
Yeah, it's really good. So I might check this out, perhaps. Like, Tokyo Revengers has like fucking 50 episodes and it never did none of this shit. Like, you know, not that I think cool fight or like more well animated fight scenes would have saved Tokyo Revengers from doom, but this at the very least looks more entertaining than that.
Yeah.
That is, I think that's all I have to say about new seasonals. I don't think I guess one last thing with the stuff that I've watched. Shangri-La Frontier already got a season 2 now. In fall. It's gonna have another 2-core season, which is insane. Like, I don't know how long they've been working on this. Like, I think it's probably been a while, but to get another 2 course season that quickly, like just like a half a year break, and then we get another 25 episodes. Like, that's insane. So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know if we would ever even like get a season 2, and so I'm very hyped that we got it immediately, basically. However, C2C, once you're done with Shangri-La Frontier, please go back to animating Wondering Witch. It's a very popular no. Elena art is inescapable. It has to be pretty popular over there. I cannot imagine it never gets a second season. I would like one.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that's everything I had to say today.
I think just for me, it was just I've watched the Madoka, I guess like the third movie, the Rebellion.
Don't
But
say
I
too
think
much
I
because
need to rewatch it.
yeah, I watched half of it
Uh-huh.
and haven't watched the other half yet.
Yeah, it's just a lot for me to digest. I'm just gonna rewatch it because I feel like I gave it like some initial rating on like Annulus. Like I made it like 85, which is like low for me. Whatever, you can criticize my rating system all you want, but like, no. I mean, like I felt like I just did not understand it as much as I should have. Just because number one, it's been over a month since I finished the actual anime, and then yeah, it's just very convoluted. Obviously, with the story of Madoka, it's got a lot of depth and uh just yeah, it's just a lot going on. So I'm gonna have to rewatch it. It felt like darker than the anime, but I guess that kind of makes sense because they're further along in the story, But yeah, I have to rewatch it. But yeah, that's that's about it for me. I've been obviously busy, but yeah, I, I felt like I had to watch that because you know I hadn't watched it since I finished the anime. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anything for you, PK? I saw you finish some. I mean, you read some manga, but
I've
like,
read
yeah,
some stuff, which I guess we can talk about. I mean, I talked about Days of the Diamond last week, I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
But I like caught up with that. I read the couple Oshinoko chapters I still need to catch up. And then the big thing I did is the spoilers finally got to me and I decided to binge through the final arc of My Hero up to where it's at.
Mhm.
And I will say binging was a great decision. Because I think there's so many things that I read in that I was like, I probably am enjoying this more because I'm binging it.
Oh, instead of like reading it as it came out, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that makes sense.
It's good. I mean, it's a final arc, so like they're doing final arc stuff. I don't think it's revolutionary, obviously, but I enjoyed the read.
I feel like I've asked this before, but like, is there a plan on when it's gonna end, or like, is it just over? Or, like, I forgot
It's been
about
supposed
it.
to end for like 2 years,
Okay, yeah,
according to him. He was like trying to end it by the end of 2022, I'm pretty sure, and
right.
Yeah.
it's 2024, and we're still going. And it does feel like we're finally at the point where it's like it's got to wrap up soon. Like
Yeah,
there's only so many more things they can even do to stall for time. But it's still got some stuff, I'm sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's kind of. I have not read it in so long. I might wait for it to end or like be almost over and then binge it.
Right.
Because like, yeah, I had been reading it and like, all right, it's got to end soon. It's got to end soon. It's got to end soon, and then it keeps going. I'm like, oh, I'm behind. I guess I'll just let it
I
go.
did laugh. I did laugh. Daniel making jokes about Tail Guy getting his moment, and so the whole time I was reading, I was like, surely Tail Guy's moment is coming. And
The tail guy get a moment.
he did eventually, but it was
A moment of
quite
all time.
quite literally the newest chapter.
Oh, I see.
Finally, the Tail Guy moment. So, happening currently, it was just funny because I was like, "Oh, is this where Tail Guy's moment happens?" Nope.
It's so stupid. I don't even know his. I don't know most of the names of fucking Class A at this point. Like, I know Deku. I know Bakugo. I know Todoroki. Um, and I know Ochako, and that's it. That's everyone's name I remember at this point. um, which is kind of sad because like I've watched. I watched up
Yeah,
to season 6. I skipped season 5. I don't know if I'll ever go back for that. I think I actually watched one episode of season 5, so I have to go back for it at some point. I just really don't want to. Um, but yeah, like I've read the manga, I've watched the anime, and I still don't know the names of people. Like, and that's typically not like a problem for me. Like, I'm not like super omega perfect memory, but like I generally remember character names of things that, especially that I spend a lot of time consuming, and so when I just have like no recollection of like all on a technical level they're all main characters like um and so the fact that I just don't remember any of the fucking heroes like at all. I probably know more villain names than I know hero names. I think that's not what the intention was.
I think the show. So I say this as a One Piece fan with thousands of named characters. I feel like My Hero got too big with its like quote main like characters in a way.
Like
Because
too
there's
many, or like
it's yeah,
There are way
like the
too many.
cast is too
yeah,
big.
yeah.
Because like you have the class, but then you have the teachers, but then you have the villains, and then you have the other classes, and then you have
Right.
upperclassmen, and then you have just it's just all this shit is like there's just too much to like die. Maybe if you like binged it all in one fucking sitting, you would remember like some of these names, but like there's just too much content to like. Especially like if you're going on a weekly basis, for example, like if you only ever read the manga, like you're going to forget some of these names. Like it has been
Yeah.
like too long. When the fuck did My Hero? It's been
And
like
some of
10
them
years.
have
Yeah,
shown up. Yeah.
it's been 10 years that this shit has been
Like I
going on
binged
for.
the whole thing and I don't think I saw Tail Guy or Tape Guy for like the entire portion of it. For example.
It's just like there are all these. It's kind of I want to make a video on this at some point, but like it's a problem that like a lot of original anime run into, where they try and like stuff them full of characters. Not even like maybe not full of characters, but like they'll put
Like people like those big casts. Like this is something. Problem is One Piece did huge cast pretty well, but even One Piece's cast isn't that big. Like that's the problem when you look at like the actual important characters in One Piece. There's not that many.
Yeah, like One Piece.
And
like,
then My Hero was like a whole class of 20.
does your
plus, like,
main
teachers
pirate
and stuff like
crew
that.
even like have 20 people? Like, is there
No.
that many? Yeah, like
It's
exactly.
half.
Like,
It's half.
The game.
One Piece has been going on for 1,000 fucking episodes, and or not, well, yeah, episodes, but chapters, over 1,000 chapters, and the main crew is smaller than just a single class in My Hero. And it's like that is why One Piece can like have long sustained success, because it's going through these arcs with like it's not going to be difficult to remember the main characters, and I imagine all of them are around more and more involved than the My Hero characters. And so you have a more involved cast over a long period of time. And so that gives you more like leeway to remember the villains, all that stuff. It's just My Hero does not handle having a big it has a big cast by nature, and it does not handle having a big cast well. This is something that Classroom of the Elite runs into as well, at least with the anime. Like, because they cut so much content and like they only do like what they feel is like hyper important, like they'll cut out characters. Well, it's like you'll never know a character exists, but then like their like moment kind of pops up in Classroom of the Elite, and the staff is like, oh well, fuck, I guess you have to exist now. And so they bring them into the fold. It's like, yep, this character right here, you know them, right? You've definitely always known them. And so it just feels like cheap when you have these other characters come through. And you've technically never, like, you should have met by now, but you technically never did, It's, big casts are not easy to handle, and I think...
And everyone wants them nowadays, because...
I think why people want...
It's like fun, right?
Like,
Like, there are a lot of people that exist. Like, that makes sense. That there would also be a lot of, like, at least somewhat important people, but...
I mean, it's just like also, if there are more characters, it's more likely that you might connect with a character. Like, I feel like that's just kind of. Like,
there's that. It's also probably just easier to write around. Like, you have, like, oh, what do I want to do next? Like, oh, I can do something with this character. But
Right.
like
Yeah.
at some point, it's just too much. And one of the interesting things actually is, probably a lot of editors push for this. So in Mashal, right? So there's one girl character called Lemon, and apparently she was not planned to exist at all. But the editor for Mashal was like, you don't have like any girls in this," and they're like, "Well, I guess I'll add one." And the result of that is Lemon existing, and she has one personality trait, and that she's like head over heels for Mash. And that's like all she
Okay.
does. That's her existence. She's completely worthless as a character. And she's just there to fill space and like be like the typical, like the classic female companion that every
Mhm.
shonen must have. And so it's like, at what point do we just give up on like just adding characters? Like there's no reason to, if you don't have like a genuine purpose to add to the cast, you shouldn't, in my
Right.
opinion.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
It's just yeah, I don't know. Uh the funny thing is, I'm probably gonna remember more girlfriends from 100 Girlfriends than I will like any amount of characters in like My Hero. Like, not, I don't remember. I definitely don't remember all their names, but by the end of it, I'm sure they'll be burned in my fucking brain.
It's valid.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to add. If anyone else has,
I don't think I had anything. I think this week, now that I have a
this is
little bit
like
more time.
the calm
Yeah.
before the storm
Yeah,
for
the
next
storm.
week.
No, but yeah, I don't know. This week, I think I'll just plan to catch up with whatever. I have to catch up with Apothecary Diaries. That's number one thing I got to do. Apothecary Diaries, because I've
Should
been.
probably watch that eventually.
Yeah,
That's really
no,
good.
I've been behind on that, but been busy. So, that, and then I don't know, probably try Bartender. I don't know. I'm just because I've read some of the manga. That was like one of the first manga I ever read. Like I just want to check it out, see what the anime is all about. So we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I wonder, like the way I've looked at Bartender, it feels like one of those things, like how people like tell bartenders like a bunch of stories and shit. I almost felt like it was gonna be like one of those, like where it's just this bartender guy like listening to stories, making drinks,
Oh
and
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's like what I thought Odd Taxi was gonna be.
like just him listening to like
It's
people's
taxi.
stories
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
taxi.
Yeah, he's like, I thought Odd Taxi was gonna be just like he's a taxi driver and like the crazy stuff that happens as a taxi driver.
Right.
So I agree with that in the sense that I still feel like I've yet to experience this show idea of just like the dude working his job and all the stuff that happens.
Yeah, I would not be able to be like a taxi or an Uber driver or anything like that. Like, feels like a very intimidating. Like, you never know who's gonna get into your car or whatever. Um, I saw a video on Twitter, and it was just like this Uber driver had like a camera in his car, like like probably typical for most of them, I guess, for obvious reasons, since like that's kind of their work. But like this girl gets in the car and she's like laughing and shit. It's like, you need to go, like step on the gas. He's like, what? And then like someone starts shooting into the fucking car, like.
Mhm.
And so he's driving away. He's like, what the fuck was that? Like, what is wrong with you? And she's just laughing in the back. Like, people are awful. Like, she fucking really gets
Yeah.
her, like, literally Saved by the Bell. Like, fucking 2 seconds after she gets in the car, basically, is when they start shooting. It's like, what is wrong with you? Like, don't drag this poor guy into this situation. I don't know. World is wild. Anyway, anime podcast. Speaking of anime podcast, this episode of the anime podcast is ending because we have to save all of our big fun for next week, which is good
Yep.
because that gives seasonals time to go through. I think by the time
Yeah. I've got a little bit more time this week.
by the time we get to the next episode, pretty much everything that I want to watch will have aired, and so I'll have a lot more to talk about. I need to watch. I need to watch the HBK movie and the OVA. I got a day.
Yes.
One day to do that. Maybe that'll be a tomorrow thing. I don't know.
Watch the movie.
mean, I gotta watch both of them. So anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, like, comment, subscribe, 5-star, whatever platform you're on. If you're on the YouTube side of things and you'd like to go to the audio only, Is the Order and Anime Podcast, we are the only one. If you want to go from audio only to the YouTube side of things, Is the Order and Anime Podcast, once again, can't possibly miss us. Every Saturday, 3 p.m. EST, without fail, except for when we do, there will be a new episode up for you to enjoy. So thank you for watching, and we hope to see you in another episode. Goodbye.